Unlocking the hidden mistake in quantum thought, a journey to transform your reality. I never expected a single dream to change everything. It felt as if the universe twisted and turned inside my head, layering darkness with shimmering light. I woke up in a cold sweat, pulses racing, the taste of fear curdling on my tongue. That night, I had seen a breach in reality, a fracture that revealed hidden truths, truths I wasn't ready to face. That I sat on the edge of my bed, questioning my sanity. The walls around me were alive, breathing. Shadows darted in the corners, whispering warnings. My mind swirled with thoughts: the quantum world, the fabric of existence, and my insignificant place within it. I longed for answers. Each day blurred into the next, an endless loop of searching. Nature outside my window painted a scene both peaceful and terrifying. The sun peeked through heavy clouds, casting golden rays that danced on dew-kissed grass. The harmony was deceptive. Lunchtime conversations buzzed around me, voices fading in and out, like echoes from another dimension. Was it unwise to listen to my instincts? A wild energy hummed beneath my skin, urging me forward. That I began to notice patterns: the way the leaves trembled, the odd flutter of birds at dusk. They seemed to communicate. Each rustle felt like a sign, a nudge from the universe. Could it all be connected? As I walked through the park, I felt eyes watching me. Shimmering lights twinkled just out of reach, leaving me to wonder if I was teetering on the edge of discovery, but with clarity came doubt. What if the answers led me to a deeper abyss? The weight of the unknown settled on my chest, making it hard to breathe. Each question lingered: was it true? Could I truly reshape my reality? The path ahead was obscured, draped in fog and uncertainty. Then, just as a gentle breeze brushed against my skin, a vision hit me. A fleeting image of a door, ancient, weathered, and slightly ajar. There was something powerful behind it, but fear gripped me. What lay beyond that threshold? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The days felt like shadows stretching into infinity as I spent more time in the park, deciphering the whisperings of nature. The golden rays had cast their magic around me, yet my heart remained gripped in uncertainty. Each time I retraced my steps to that ethereal door in my vision, the question danced around me: how could I approach such a landscape of possibility? When trepidation weighed heavy on my soul, it occurred to me that perhaps the key wasn't merely confronting the door but understanding my own reluctance to open it. I found solace with a kindred spirit, an elderly man who sat beneath a sprawling oak tree. His presence emanated a tranquil wisdom, as if he had already traversed the various realities of existence. Our conversations began with the mundane but inevitably spiraled towards the deeper currents of life. Do you believe the universe speaks to us? He probed on one particularly breezy afternoon, his steely gaze piercing through me. I hesitated, considering the signs I had been experiencing. It seems that way, I finally replied, my voice barely rising above the rustle of leaves. But what do those signs mean? He chuckled softly, a sound like gravel shifting in a stream. The meaning is often obscured by our own fears. Look to them not as fixed symbols but as possibilities unfolding. With each word, I felt the weight of my skepticism begin to lift. Perhaps there was wisdom in embracing uncertainty rather than running from it. Motivated by our conversation, I spent the following days observing everything around me. I watched the rhythm of leaves as they danced with the wind, listened closely to the stories carried through the air by the whispers of children at play and the distant call of crows. Each moment led me deeper into an understanding that the universe was indeed conversing, yet I felt unequipped to decode its language. One evening, as dusk settled into a gentle embrace, a shimmering light at the edge of the park drew my attention. Unlike the other sporadic lights I had seen, this one pulsed with urgency. Against the twilight, it flickered with colors too vivid to be dismissed as mere reflections. The intensity of its glow pulled at my heart, igniting a spark of curiosity mingled with apprehension. Venturing closer, I found a cluster of wildflowers bathed in moonlight. They swayed rhythmically, embodying a heartbeat that seemed to synchronize with mine. Kneeling beside them, I noticed their vibrant faces stretching towards the sky, as if beckoning me to join in their ritual dance of gratitude. My instinct urged me to close my eyes, to surrender to the music of their existence. Suddenly, a sensation washed over me like a tidal wave, both overwhelming and exhilarating. My spirit soared as I felt the interconnectedness of all things, the essence of creation flowing through the very air I breathed. Answers eluded me, but a question emerged from this crescendo of consciousness. What if we are all just parts of a grander symphony, each soul playing its unique note towards a cosmic melody? As I opened my eyes, the light flickered one last time before dimming, leaving behind a lingering warmth. I yearned to know, what part was I meant to play in this unfolding spectacle? The door still loomed in my mind, enigmatic and enticing, but I sensed a shift within me. Perhaps my fear was transitioning into a stirring of hope. Looking up at the stars now scattered like diamonds across the indigo sky, a new reflection occurred to me. If the universe communicated through hidden signs, did each of us bear the responsibility to interpret them? And was my journey truly about unlocking a door, or was it about learning to listen and dance with the imperfections of existence itself? With these questions lingering in the night air, I felt the gentle tug of mystery guiding me further into the unknown. The following days unfolded with a curious blend of anticipation and trepidation as the whispered secrets of the universe continued to beckon. I found myself returning to the park, the scene of my recent awakening, eager to embrace whatever revelation awaited me. Dawn's light poured into the world like a soft hymn, and I felt the call of the wildflowers still resonating within me, tugging at the fringes of my consciousness. A gentle breeze accompanied me, and as I made my way to my beloved oak tree, the elderly man was already there. His presence grounded me, a familiar anchor amidst the ever-shifting tides of my thoughts. This time, he seemed contemplative, his fingers tracing invisible patterns in the air. "I've been pondering something," he began, fixing his penetrating eyes on me. "What do you think happens when we ignore the signs surrounding us?" "Perhaps we miss out on something important," I responded cautiously, aware that he was drawing me into deeper waters. "Or maybe we create our own obstacles," he nodded, his expression reflecting a mixture of approval and concern. "Indeed. Each sign, if neglected, can become a hidden mistake, a choice we refuse to confront. But what if those mistakes are actually invitations to explore unknown possibilities?" With that, my thoughts spiraled into a myriad of questions. My journey was no longer solely about that door, it was evolving into a quest for understanding the nature of existence itself. I glanced at the shimmering fabric of reality, where everything seemed interwoven, demanding my full attention. As I sat next to him, our silence became a canvas upon which my thoughts could paint. I remembered the shimmering light of the wildflowers and felt an urge to delve deeper. How do we begin to decode the signs, then? The old man looked at me, a grin unfurling across his face like a blossoming flower. Start by recognizing your own rhythms. What stirs you? What brings you peace? When you align with your own essence, the universe becomes less of a puzzle and more of a song. Inspired, I decided to embark on a new project, a journal where I would document my daily encounters with nature's signs. I envisioned etching my reflections, emotions, and the whispers of the universe onto its pages. Each entry would serve as a testament to my journey, capturing the melodic dance of life that unfolded around me. The days transformed into an intoxicating blend of adventure and introspection. I ventured deeper into the woods, my senses alive to every sight, sound, and scent. I marveled at the playful families of squirrels, their chaotic dances symbolic of life's spontaneity. I listened intently to the songs of birds, each note harmonizing with the heartbeat of the earth. I even found solace in the persistent buzz of bees, laboring tirelessly, reminding me of the beauty in small acts. That I began to notice something miraculous emerging from my observations. My questions were morphing. Instead of pondering solely on the purpose of that mysterious door, I became captivated by the fleeting moments of connection that stirred in my chest. Was this the essence of understanding? A pathway woven not just through searching for answers, but in participating fully in every transient experience. In the midst of one reflective evening, I sat journaling beneath the oak tree, my heart light and bright. Around me, the world began to blur as the skies turned vibrant hues of orange and purple. Just as the sun dipped below the horizon, a flock of birds soared overhead, their synchronized movements mimicking the patterns I'd begun to perceive in my own life. Suddenly, the sensation of that overwhelming interconnection returned. It was as if the universe embraced me, elevating my spirit into a state of ebullience. My pen paused above the paper, and the question formed anew: if we are all part of this cosmic dance, how can we nurture the notes we play while retaining our unique melodies? With a heart brimming with possibility, I silently vowed to continue this journey of exploration. Yet, a new layer of uncertainty loomed. What awaited me at the doorway within my vision? Would the answers I sought lie behind it, or would it only reveal more questions? As twilight deepened, I closed my eyes, allowing the mysteries of the moment to wash over me. In the stillness, I grasped once more the magnitude of my unfolding narrative. Perhaps it wasn't just about unlocking a door, but discovering the beauty of the journey, the lessons embedded along the path, and the ever-evolving relationship with uncertainty. With that thought enveloping me, I wondered, what if the journey itself held the key, rather than the destination? The following days passed like ripples across a serene lake, each moment distilling a new insight, a deeper hue in the palette of my existence. The oak tree became my sanctuary, a sacred space where thoughts flowed freely like the wind rustling through leaves, welcoming understanding and wisdom. With every visit, my journal transformed into a testament of my awakening, a place where nature's whispers met my burgeoning self-awareness. I documented not merely the signs, but the emotions they stirred, the way sunlight filtered through branches in a dappled dance, or how the scent of fresh earth after rain ignited an ache for connection. Each entry was a thread in the tapestry of my evolving narrative. One afternoon, while resting in the refreshing embrace of the oak's shade, I watched as children played nearby. They tumbled and laughed, effortlessly immersed in the moment, with the purity of joy radiating from their small, innocent forms. Their laughter rang like chimes in the quiet, stirring something profound within me. What did they know that I had yet to remember? Intrigued, I approached a young girl who was building a small tower of stones. "What are you creating?" I asked gently, kneeling to her level. "A castle," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "And you can live in it, too." She placed a stone carefully atop the tower, the gravity of her commitment manifesting in that small act of creation. "Why is it so important to build this castle?" I asked, curiosity tainting the edges of my thoughts. "Because it's magic. We can make anything we want in it," she replied, her fingers brushing the rocks as if infusing them with her spirit. Her innocent wisdom struck me as a powerful revelation. Adults often complicate life by imposing barriers and restrictions, yet here was a child reminding me of the beauty of imagination and possibility. What if my own walls were merely illusions, veiling the potential of what I might create? That evening, the sun's descent seemed more vibrant, the world draped in gold and crimson. As I sat beneath the oak, the question loomed larger than ever: what constructs had I built around my own consciousness? Had I stifled my innate creativity under layers of expectation and doubt? Days turned into a quest, as I resolved to rediscover my own magic. I ventured beyond the familiar paths, embracing the spontaneous. Strangely, the universe began to respond. On one of my excursions, I stumbled upon an old, forgotten path leading deeper into the woods. It was overgrown, yet beckoned with an alluring mystery. With each step into the unknown, I felt as though I was shedding the restrictions I had so comfortably worn. That I came across a brook, sparkling in its innocence, where the water danced over stones as if composing a joyful melody. Sitting on a smooth rock, I closed my eyes, allowing the sound to envelop me like a warm blanket. In that moment of surrender, the feeling of interconnectedness surged back. The water was not just a stream, it was life, flowing and changing, unrestricted. I too was part of that fluid dance, capable of transformation. As twilight approached, the sky glimmered with starlight. I pondered the child's castle again. What if I could build my own? A sanctuary where ideas and dreams mingled freely, unbound by fear or judgment. In the solitude of my thoughts, I envisioned possibilities. What if I approached every question not with the weight of answers expected, but as a bridge inviting exploration? Yet as I stood to leave, a lingering question nestled within me: in building this metaphorical castle, would I find the freedom to create within my world, or simply construct yet another prison of belief? Would the once fleeting moments of joy evolve into a deeper understanding, or would they fade into the echoes of past pursuits? Reflecting upon this delicate balance between creation and limitation left me restless. I understood now that my journey was not merely to unlock that door but to navigate through the labyrinth of my own understanding, embracing the lessons hidden within the stone walls I'd built around myself. With the cosmos glittering overhead and the soothing sounds of the brook lingering in my ears, I pondered anew: what if every self-imposed boundary is merely an illusion, a dance waiting for me to rewrite its steps? As days flowed into one another, each dawn unveiled layers of a universe I had yet to perceive. My visits to the oak tree became less about escaping reality and more about diving deeper into the currents of consciousness that surrounded me. That majestic tree stood as a silent witness, its ancient bark a testament to the countless transformations it had endured, just as I sought to endure my own. One afternoon, while tracing patterns in the earth with a stick, I caught sight of a feather drifting through the air. It danced playfully before settling softly at my feet. Intrigued by its presence, I picked it up. It felt delicate in my hand, feather-light yet imbued with the spirit of flight. I could not help but wonder, what messages did such a sign hold? The feather seemed to whisper of freedom, of elevation, the ability to rise above, to see things from a higher plane. Holding it close, I embarked on a new exploration within myself. I wandered back to the brook, but this time I sat longer, letting the cool water caress my fingers while contemplating the feather's invitation. What aspects of my life were weighted down by fear, guilt, or unresolved tension? What if I could release these burdens and soar like the creature that had once flown so freely? Suddenly, an explosion of color caught my eye. A butterfly fluttered nearby, its wings a brilliant mosaic that seemed to absorb the very essence of the kaleidoscope above. It hovered precariously before me, as if challenging me to question the confines of my comfort zone. I stood up, heart racing, a primal urge to follow this vibrant creature ignited within me. I chased it, allowing it to guide me down a winding trail I had never noticed before. The path opened to a clearing where the air shimmered with luminescence. Here, a gathering of wildflowers bloomed abundantly, each arising from the earth like whispers of joy. It felt sacred, imbued with magic that resonated deeply within my being. Kneeling, I marveled at the vibrant colors, each petal intricately woven with stories of survival and beauty. And in that moment of connection, a realization struck: freedom lay not solely in pursuing the extraordinary, but in recognizing the extraordinary within the mundane. That I and my inner dialogue, the questions began to flow: what moments in my life had I overlooked? What beauty had I disregarded in the mundane pursuit of grand achievements? As I picked a wildflower, I felt as though I was reclaiming a part of my essence, stitching together the fabric of my own narrative with each blossom I held. Upon returning to the oak tree, I carried the feather and flower as reminders of the insights gained. They whispered of transformation, a reminder that metamorphosis is constant and often, the most profound changes stem from embracing what seems small or insignificant. And yet, heaviness settled upon me as twilight commenced its descent. Despite my discoveries, I sensed an invisible thread tugging at my heart, a caution against overconfidence. What if I misread the messages? What if these delicate signs were but fleeting thoughts disguised as wisdom? As stars began to flicker above, questions flickered brighter in my mind: could the essence of my journey ultimately lead to misplaced trust in experiences rather than faith in the unseen? Reflecting on my tangled emotions, I understood I wasn't just learning to construct an internal haven, I was confronted with the duality of all creation, the balance between liberation and entrapment, vision and illusion. My spirit yearned for clarity, yet clarity often resided within the shadows of uncertainty. As the evening chill wrapped around me, I sat beneath the oak, futilely pondering my paradoxical existence. What if, in my quest to find certainty, I lost sight of the wonder woven into curiosity itself? And in the embrace of that ambiguity, what deeper revelations awaited just beyond the horizon? Days ebbed and flowed like the brook nearby, weaving in and out of moments I believed I'd understood. The feather and flower accompanied me like faithful companions, their silent yet potent reminders urging me to look beyond the surface and into the depths of my own consciousness. As twilight merged into night, I often found myself beneath the oak, wrapped in the embrace of its ancient wisdom, wrestling with a restlessness that stirred within me. That evening, the air was particularly still, as if the universe itself were holding its breath. With each exhale, the breeze whispered secrets, rustling the leaves above me. It was in this cocoon of tranquility that I closed my eyes, centering my thoughts on my recent journeys. What lay beyond the mere signs of freedom and beauty I had discovered? As I nestled deeper into my reflections, an unexpected presence hovered at the fringes of my awareness. It emerged softly, like a dream breaching the shores of consciousness. The vision materialized gradually, taking the form of an ethereal figure enveloped in soft light. It exuded warmth and understanding, and despite its intangible nature, I felt a profound connection to this presence. Do you seek answers, or do you seek to understand the questions? It intoned, its voice resonating through my very core. Caught off guard, I hesitated but eventually replied, I long for clarity, yet I grapple with uncertainty. I am afraid of losing sight of the beauty in the questions. The figure's light flickered like the stars above, and it began to move, guiding me to a deeper plane of awareness. I stood up, drawn into a space that felt wholly familiar yet wholly new. Colors swirled together, deep indigos, luminous golds, and vibrant greens merging into an intricate tapestry of existence. I was not merely an observer in this realm, I felt a part of its very fabric, a thread woven into the greater universe. Understanding is a dance, not a destination, the figure continued, its essence melding with the colors around us. Embrace the chaos born from seeking, for therein lies the essence of your journey. That I felt myself expanding, experiencing the paradox of duality I had sensed earlier. There was beauty to be found within the chaos, light intertwined with shadows, each enhancing the other in a strange alchemy of experience. Questions surged within me, entwined with fear and wonder. What if my pursuit of certainty bound me in chains of my own making? Could I allow myself to linger in the uncertainty, to revel in the questions, rather than frantically seeking their answers? As the vision began to fade, I felt the urge to speak once more. What if I remain adrift, lost in these multiple strands of reality? How will I know which direction to take? Trust the process, it replied gently, the glow dimming as if retreating back into the ether. Paths will reveal themselves when you are willing to listen to the world, to your heart, and to the questions themselves. That I blinked, finding myself once again beneath the oak, the familiar texture of its bark grounding me once more. The weight of the feather and flower rested in my palms, their significance morphing anew. Suddenly, the soft sounds of the night came alive, crickets serenading the moon while the brook harmonized in a gentle hymn. As I pondered the luminous visit, new reflections began to intertwine with the existing layers of my consciousness. The revelations felt like seeds of wisdom taking root within my heart. The remnants of uncertainty remained, but a newfound energy fluttered deep inside, an invitation to explore the vacant spaces and uncorrupted questions that would shape my unfolding story. What awaited me beyond the embrace of this uncertainty? Was the essence of my journey less about finding answers and more about fostering relationships with every question that lingered in the air, like the fragrance of wildflowers carried by the wind? I felt the pull of the unknown deepen, urging me toward the promise of grace woven through life's intricate dance. And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars, I vowed to step into the mystery, allowing curiosity to guide me further into the ever-expanding horizons of my spirit. In the days that followed, the oak tree became a sanctuary of sorts, a portal where reflections and revelations collided. Each visit drew me deeper into the cocoon of tranquility, yet the restlessness was still there, simmering beneath my surface. I felt an insatiable pull, as if the universe were weaving intricate patterns within my spirit, inviting me to unravel them. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped beyond the horizon, casting glittering ribbons of orange and violet across the sky, I felt an undeniable urge to wander deeper into the woods. With each step, the rhythm of the earth pulsed beneath my feet. Vibrations of life surged through the ground, resonating with the questions I still carried. My surroundings grew denser, enveloping me in a lush embrace, the woods teeming with whispers of energy. Suddenly, the air shifted, carrying an uncommon sense of anticipation. I stumbled upon a glade, where the silver moonlight danced upon a stagnant pond, its still surface reflecting the stars with a crystalline clarity. I knelt at the water's edge, entranced, when the surface began to ripple. Out of the depths emerged a flicker of luminescence, and soon, an unexpected sight materialized before me, a reflection of my own face, yet, something was off. My image shimmered, distorted by waves of luminescent energy that flickered as if alive. In this moment, my reflection began to speak, its voice a harmonious blend of every question and doubt I had harbored. What do you fear? It asked, each word floating like a feather, light yet profound. I fear what I cannot control, I admitted, surprised by my own candor. The chaotic dance of uncertainty terrifies me. If I don't have answers, what am I? What will become of me? The reflection smiled gently, a knowingness twinkling in its eyes. You equate answers with safety. But what if the journey itself holds the power to transform reality? What if chaos is merely the raw material from which purpose is forged? As it spoke, tendrils of understanding snaked into the crevices of my mind. The idea that reality was a canvas, smeared not just by the pursuit of clarity but by the willingness to embrace the unknown, began to take hold. But a nagging question remained: how could I navigate this uncertain terrain without losing myself in the process? Perhaps it is in our deepest fears that we unearth our truest selves, my reflection continued, its voice like an echo of my own soul. What kind of reality do you wish to create from the chaos? The potential for transformation lies in your hands. How will you wield it? I gazed into the pond, and in that moment, I understood that the ripples created were not disturbances to be feared but opportunities for creation. Each wave cascaded outward, colliding with others, evolving, and shaping the very essence of existence itself. It occurred to me that embracing uncertainty meant inviting the possibility of endless pathways, each weaving a tapestry more intricate and beautiful than I could imagine. Yet, I felt the weight of my question pressing down on me. How would I learn to embrace this process when fear often sought to dominate my mind? Would I have the courage to step into the unknown and allow the waves of transformation to carry me forward, regardless of the direction? The moon rose higher in the sky, bathing the glade in silver light, illuminating the path back to the oak tree. My heart raced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation as I recognized this was but another stage of my journey, one where uncertainty bred possibility, and within possibility lay the power to shape my reality. As I stood from the edge of the pond, I felt the fragile balance of excitement and fear shifting within me. Each step carried the weight of monumental questions, unanswered and profound. With every footfall, I whispered to the night, what if the hidden mistake in my quantum thought is the belief that I must have it all figured out before I begin? Can the chaos itself be a compass guiding me toward the essence of who I am meant to be? The thought lingered in the cool air, ungraspable yet visceral. I sensed the mystery stretching out before me, a vast expanse waiting to unfold. Under the watchful gaze of celestial bodies, I stepped forward, ready to unravel the questions lurking in the shadows of my spirit, eager to discover what life had to reveal. As the night stretched onward, the woods hummed with a deep, timeless energy, and my heart thrummed in unison. I could feel the electric pulse of life swirling within the trees, beckoning me into deeper realms of understanding. Each shadow felt alive, as though the spirits of the forest were whispering their secrets just out of reach, inviting me to listen. Truly listened. That I wandered along a narrow path lined with ancient ferns, the dim luminescence of fireflies guiding my way. Their flickering lights reminded me of fleeting thoughts, ephemeral, yet beautiful. It called to mind the insights I had begun to negotiate with, embracing chaos, unraveling fear, and the prospect of shaping my own reality. Still, amid this blossoming consciousness, a shadow loomed. How would I navigate the labyrinth of my mind without succumbing to its deceits? My thoughts were interrupted by a soft sound, a gentle rustle that grew more distinct with each step. Curiosity piqued as I retraced my path, drawn to the source. There, nestled at the base of an old sycamore, I found an unassuming figure cloaked in a wild tapestry of shimmering leaves and earthy hues. It was a woman with kind eyes that mirrored the starry expanse above, her presence radiating warmth. Welcome, seeker, she said, her voice weaving through the stillness like a soft lullaby. I gather the whispers of the woods and nurture those who wander. Taken by the moment, I sat before her, drawn into her calm essence. I seek answers, I confessed, my vulnerability laid bare. I want to confront the chaos and shape my reality, yet fear often holds me captive. She smiled knowingly, her gaze wandering to the night sky. Ah, but fear is an intrinsic part of the journey. It serves as a guardian of the heart, a teacher cloaked in shadows. To dismantle it, one must delve into its mysteries. Are you prepared to unveil your fears? A spark of courage ignited within me. Yes, I am ready, then let us touch the depths together. Her voice seemed to glide on the air, and the leaves around us began to sway rhythmically, singing the songs of the ancients. Imagine your fear as a creature lurking in the dark, waiting for acknowledgement. What shape does it take? I closed my eyes, summoning the image. In the recesses of my mind, a dark figure flickered out draped in black shadows, its eyes piercing. I felt an instinctive recoil, yet her presence anchored me. It is formless and powerful, I shared, heart racing. It looms over me, ready to swallow my ambitions. Now, she whispered, reach out to it. Hold space for this creature. Understand its essence. Taking a deep breath, I envisioned myself stepping forward. I whispered, I acknowledge you, fear. You have kept me safe, but I am ready to see you for what you are. Suddenly, the figure transformed, shedding its darkness like a worn-out cloak, revealing glistening threads of color and intricate tapestry woven from years of experiences, lessons, connections. I gasped as realization dawned. Fear was not merely a monster, but a catalyst for growth, shaped by the very fabric of my existence. The woman nodded, her eyes sparkling. Now you see the truth. Chaos, like fear, is not your enemy but an instrument. It offers you clarity of purpose, beckoning you to create meaning from within. How do I harness this? I asked, hope blossoming within me. How do I weave purpose from this intricate design? By embracing the journey, she replied. Let your heart guide you. Live in questions, hold space for growth, and know that every path you tread is essential. The only hidden mistake we make is the belief that certainty is a precursor to action. With her words, I felt a wave of understanding wash over me, as if pieces of a cosmic puzzle were aligning in my soul. I realized the journey itself was an open doorway, offering countless opportunities to explore. As dawn began to blush on the horizon, illuminating the world in shades of gold and lavender, I stood grateful for this encounter. What if the only mistake is the desire for control, and the secret lies in the acceptance of uncertainty? I pondered aloud. Allowing the question to linger in the crisp morning air, the woman smiled. Ah, seeker, simmer in that inquiry. Each moment you embrace the chaos and question the known expands the universe within you. Your journey is just beginning. As she melted back into the essence of the woods, I felt Olivia a vessel of potential ready to explore the boundless mystery ahead. With every step toward the rising sun, I carried a new reflection with me. In the dance of uncertainties lies the spark of life's greatest creations. But what undreamt realities await for me in the shimmering chaos? The aroma of dew-kissed grass mingled with the warmth of the sun as it broke the horizon, casting a golden sheen on the world. Energized by my encounter, I ventured deeper into the woods, a part of me eager for new revelations. Each step felt like an offering, a tribute to the wisdom that lingered within the trees. Everywhere I looked, nature seemed to come alive, whispering stories that teased the edges of my consciousness. In this sacred space, I realized that my journey was a dance of awareness, where each encounter held lessons waiting to be unearthed. The thought of questioning my relationship with fear ignited a flame of curiosity about what other illusions might be lurking in the shadows of my mind. What other misconceptions had I held close, believing them to be truths? As I meandered, I noticed the flutter of wings. A flock of birds soared above me, their movements synchronized as if choreographed by an ancient rhythm. I paused, captivated by their freedom, and a question arose, glimmering like a distant star. Why do we often trap ourselves within the confines of our own making, rather than embracing the boundless sky of possibilities? I forged on, contemplating the constricting beliefs that had tethered me for so long. It was in these reflections that I stumbled upon a clearing, vibrant with colors unfamiliar to my eyes. Bluebells blanketed the earth, swaying gently as the breeze passed through, and at the center, a stone well stood, inviting and mysterious. Nervously, I approached it, feeling an inexplicable pull towards the depths. An old crone appeared beside me, her presence as timeless as the well itself. Her hair spilled in waves of silver, and her eyes sparkled with the light of knowing. Curiosity has led you here, she said, her voice a blend of gravel and honey. This well holds the essence of unknowing. Would you like to dive deep into your questions? Yes, I answered, heart racing at the possibilities. I have been learning to confront my fear. I wish to uncover the layers of my understanding, then gaze into the well, she instructed, her smile encouraging. Each ripple can reveal something hidden beneath the surface that I leaned over, peering into the cool depths. As the water settled, reflections danced like echoes of dreams. Faces of people from my life emerged, friends, mentors, those I had loved and lost. Each visage sparked memories intertwined with emotion, revealing threads of connection that shaped my path. Each of these souls, the crone said softly, has woven elements into your being, shaping you into who you are. But how often do you remember that you are the co-creator of your own narrative? What old stories linger from these encounters? I felt compelled to explore. I recall moments of betrayal, despair, I confessed, haunted by shadows of past regrets. They hold weight in my heart and often cloud my vision. But every shadow carries a gift, the crone replied, wise and steady. They are markers of resilience. When you embrace these experiences, you release their hold over you, you reclaim the power embedded within those lessons. A wave of recognition washed over me. What if my sorrow could be a catalyst for growth, rather than a wall that obstructed my view? The idea stirred the waters of my soul, and for the first time, I felt gratitude for every misstep that had brought me here. What remains unspoken within the heart can sometimes be the heaviest burden, the crone continued, her voice a gentle reminder. What unexpressed dreams reside in the corners of your spirit, kindling the flicker for transformation? The question hung in the air as I contemplated the uncharted desires I had buried beneath daily routines and fears. Could it be that the greatest hidden mistake was not simply the desire for control but the neglect of dreams I had once held dear? Reflect on these revelations, seeker, she said. For the journey is one of unearthing and embracing all aspects of yourself. Let go of the urge to box your essence, allow the wild within you to flourish. As I pulled back from the well, my spirit felt lighter, enriched by the sacred knowledge shared. The crone had vanished, leaving behind a sense of warmth, the promise of further exploration and self-discovery. With every step onward, I embraced the complexity of my past while anchoring a vision for my future. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting elongated shadows around me, I mused on this new layer of understanding. What untold truths lay hidden, waiting patiently for my heart to venture deeper? In this vast expanse of potential, how might I weave new stories into the fabric of my reality? As I wandered through the forest, a subtle shift enveloped me. The air felt electric, vibrating with untold stories and the whispers of countless adventures yet to unfold. I found myself drawn back to that familiar oak tree, my sanctuary, where I could merge my insights with the pulse of existence around me. The journey had become a symphonia melody of fear, revelation, and acceptance that crescendoed within my soul. As I approached the oak, I noticed its branches swaying gently, welcoming me back as if to remind me that I was not merely a spectator in this life, but an integral part of it. The shadows and light that danced on the ground echoed the dual nature of my experiences. I sank to the earth, leaning against the tree's sturdy trunk, grounding myself in a moment of quiet reflection. What had I truly learned on this winding path through uncertainty and chaos? The past echoes of doubt still fluttered in my heart, but they had transformed their weight, now a palpable energy propelling me forward rather than holding me back. I felt the richness of every experience, even the painful ones, woven into a tapestry that told of resilience and rebirth, and then, it dawned on me like the golden rays of the sun piercing through the leaves above. My quest had never truly been about unlocking a specific door, nor seeking definite answers to the riddles of existence. The hidden mistake had been my insistence on perceiving life as a puzzle to be solved, when in truth, it was a dance to be embraced. I realized that life's greatest gift lay not in finding certainty, but in surrendering to the flow of existence and allowing myself to be molded by its currents. Tears welled in my eyes as I accepted this profound truth. The universe was not a path to navigate with precision, but an ever-changing landscape of wonder and possibility, where each moment held potential to ignite something magical within me. Just like the wildflowers that came alive effortlessly in the meadow, I too could bloom wherever I found myself. With a renewed sense of purpose, I sighed deeply, feeling the energy of the oak resonate beneath me, as if acknowledging my awakening. Suddenly, I was surrounded by a flurry of movement, 1,000 butterflies dancing around me, their wings shimmering like a kaleidoscope caught in the sunlight. They swept me up in their joyous ballet, inviting me to join in their celebration of life. That I felt as if they were echoing the very essence of what I had come to understand: transformation is never linear. It is an intricate dance of creation and destruction, of beginnings and endings. As I twirled among them, laughter bubbled forth, a release of joy that rose like an anthem into the air. The butterflies carried with them whispers of liberation, the promise of unfurling into something truly magnificent. That in that moment, I understood that it was not my fear or my doubts that defined me, but my ability to embrace them as catalysts for growth. Each apparent limitation I had once carried crumbled like dried leaves beneath my feet, revitalized by the spirit of discovery that danced through my veins. With every flutter and beat of my heart, I felt my spirit soar. The chaos no longer intimidated me, but inspired me. I resolved to trust that the universe would reveal its wisdom in its own time, knowing every question held the potential for new pathways to unfold. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of fiery orange and soft lavender, I finally stood to leave the oak's embrace. I realized now that every journey, including my own, was an exploration of the heart, boundless and beautiful. I took a moment to whisper my gratitude to the oak, to the butterflies, to the universe itself, knowing that I was not ending a chapter but starting anew. What lay ahead was not just an awakening but an invitation, a chance to dance with life, to create from the chaos, and to rejoice in the act of simply being. I stepped forward into the twilight, ready to weave my reality with the essence of every hidden dream and potential waiting to be born. As stars shimmered like possibilities above, I embraced the truth that I was the author of my journey, each breath a new line in the unfolding narrative of existence. And with that understanding settled deep within, I whispered into the night, in the dance of uncertainty, I am free, ready to shape my world with intention, joy, and love.